Hello and what is up YouTube? My name is G3Iron and we are 8 days away from Path of Exile Harvest being released, and today we've got some news regarding new and changed slam skills in the upcoming 3.11 Harvest League. Those of you who are new to the channel, you can of course like, subscribe, and ding the bell to be notified about future discussions just like this one. I haven't had a chance to read this announcement, so let's read it together and react together. Alright, from the top. In Path of Exile Harvest, we've created a new category of skills called slams. We've introduced one new support and one new slam skill, while several existing skills have been recategorized as slams. Today's news post reveals which skills are now considered slams, how they've been improved, and information about the new slam called Earth Shatterer. Okay, interesting. You've got me intrigued. In general, we're looking to provide more support for two-handed playstyles and builds that hit slower but hit harder. These changes come alongside improvements to two-handed base types, more passive skill tree support, improvements to war cries, and more. All right, I like what they're promising. Let's make it happen. Let's not have Harvest be Bow League but for two-handers. Let's not have that happen. Let's have this be a true improvement for two-handers. The Fist of War support. Alongside our announcement of Harvest, we revealed the new Fist of War support that works with all slams except Vol slams and Ancestral Warchief. Every few seconds, an ancestor appears above your character and performs your slam in unison with you, creating a supercharged slam, dealing much more damage with an increased area of effect. The following slam skills can be used with the Fist of War support: Ground Slam, Tectonic Slam, Earthquake, hey, EQ boys shout out, Earth Shatterer, which is new, Sunder, Ice Crash, Consecrated Path, hey, there we go, Conk Path, Perforate, Leap Slam, and Doriani's Touch from the Doriani's Fist unique item. Oh boy, we are going to see some meme builds. Earth Shatterer is a new level 12 slam attack that sends out 5 damaging fissures in all directions when you slam the ground. At the end of each fissure, a spike bursts from the ground and remains for a short time. Guys, we're going to be lurkers. We're going to be lurkers. Shout out to all my StarCraft homies. Guys, we're going to be Brood War lurkers. If these spikes are in the area of another slam or war cry used by you or an allied player, the spikes will explode, dealing damage in an area around them. The range of the fissures, combined with the area of the exploding spikes, ends up spreading damage over a large area, with explosions overlapping near the location you slammed. You can alternate between slamming with Earth Shatterer and using a war cry, letting you kill enemies around you by detonating your spikes, while simultaneously preparing to exert your next use of the skill. You can also easily leap slam onto your spikes to trigger them while you move. Oh, that's awesome. Any exploding spike can detonate other spikes near it, so you can leave a trail of spikes with repeated slams, then set them off by leaping onto one of them. Okay, that is the first thing that comes to my mind right away. That is like ED Contagion levels of synergy right there. Between Earth Shatterer and War Cries, just as soon as I read that, I'm going, okay, I've got one skill that can interact with another skill, that can proc another skill, that can then spread across packs. Like, that's what that sounds like to me. So we've got melee, quality of life, ED Contagion, just in terms of the combination, right? I'm not necessarily talking about chaos damage. I'm not necessarily talking about it scaling as a spell. I'm just saying this is a combo between two skills, Earth Shatterer and a war cry, and then blowing stuff up as you leap slam away. That's pretty cool. If Michael Bay ever played Path of Exile, I'm sure he would want to use this, because this is just going to leave a bunch of explosions behind you like a classic Michael Bay scene. All right, how does this affect Tectonic Slam? Tectonic Slam has received an impressive new visual effect and no longer uses charged slams. It instead counts endurance charges to grant more area of effect and additional damaging cracks in the ground. This improves the reward for investing in endurance charges by providing both a larger and more consistent area of effect. It now consumes an endurance charge every 3 slams rather than at a random 35% chance. The additional cracks that endurance charges generates can spread out further from the base impact and are more deterministic. Enchants that previously granted a chance for charged slam now grant an additional chance for cracks. All right, that's pretty cool. And we just recently featured the Duke of Snuff, aka Zhao's dual-wielding Nebulok Juggernaut that features using Tectonic Slam with, I believe, 9 endurance charges is what his build features. So that's a massive, massive buff for that particular build. And I think we just featured that last week. So if you're looking for a potential starter or something to transition into a starter, that's going to be a good one to go to. Perforate. Perforate now provides flat physical damage that scales as the gem levels. Okay, nice. The distribution of its spikes in Blood Stance has been made more consistent. A higher percentage of its spikes should hit a small target. An investment in area of effect and or the number of spikes should keep this percentage of spikes hitting consistent. Okay, that's massive. Perforate is already an incredibly high DPS skill, so adding consistency is just going to put it through the roof. Sand Stance's base area starts off slightly smaller, but increases as the gem levels. Perforate also provides 1 additional spike at all levels and also grants 2 additional spikes if you've changed stances recently. The issue with Perforate in the past was that in Sand Stance, there were large gaps between spikes, which meant that enemies within those gaps would be missed. The extra spikes it now provides an additional area of effect vastly improve the number of targets that can be hit by a single slam. In Blood Stance, increased area of effect used to result in a loss to single target damage, and the extra spikes from the Perforate enchant would be placed outside of the range of most small enemies, therefore wouldn't contribute any damage to single targets. These changes to Perforate improve its ability to hit enemies more reliably and with a better spread of damage. Yeah, I'm going to see in the future, I'm looking in my crystal ball that sees into the future of Harvest League, and I see many players building many builds with many millions of DPS using Perforate. Sunder, hey, good old Sunder. Hey, shout out to all of you who have ever leveled using Sunder. That's like 90% of the Path of Exile veteran community. As part of our effort to encourage slower and heavier hitting slams, Sunder has become a much wider and longer but slower cascade. Using Sunder while one cascade is still in motion will cause the existing cascade to end prematurely. Oh, don't we all hate premature things? These cascades will always travel a minimum length, so you can still use Sunder effectively with multi-strike in fast-hitting weapons when close to enemies. It still releases shockwaves which can overlap when they hit enemies. Leveling the gem no longer scales its radius, but instead scales its area of effect. Overall, it now provides a better area of effect for slower hitting weapons. Interesting. So now you can play Sunder without having to feel like you've got to play with 1,000,000 attack speed and multi-strike. Interesting. So now you can do both. Like you can go the multi-strike fast hitting route, or you can go the slower but more consistent, larger single individual hits version of Sunder. All right, Earthquake. Tell me about Earthquake. Tell me about Earthquake. Earthquake, Ground Slam, and Ice Crash. These skills are receiving numerical changes which will be revealed closer to launch. In general, the idea is to make them generally stronger. Hey, EQ getting stronger? I'm okay with that. One thing that they did that really hurt EQ was the Perma-Vol EQ build that was around a couple of leagues ago. You could play it as a Pathfinder. I forget which league it was, but I played one of those. That was great. You got like the reduced cost of Vol Souls on your staff, and then you use the Soul Catcher Flask. There were a couple of other combos that you could use in there. Essentially what you did was you made it so that way you had Perma-Vol Earthquake running as you went throughout the map. It was a tremendously fun build. As silly as that might sound, it might sound like it was a walking simulator, but it was incredibly fun to keep going and to just like permanently chain your Vol Earthquakes. But maybe whatever changes they're going to do to regular Earthquake is going to make it fun to be leap slamming or running between packs and hitting the ground and running again. The worst part about Earthquake is when you just don't quite have enough damage to end something, because then you have to go through the entire animation like all over again. The goal of Earthquake is to just single hit, boom, everything dies. Single hit, boom, everything dies. The worst is when you've got to attack multiple times with Earthquake. Other slam skills. The other slam skills that are now categorized as slams are mostly unchanged, but have had their visual effects improved and can be used with the Fist of War support. Check out the new slams in action in this video here. All right, so let's take a look. Okay, that's Earth Shatterer right there, right? Yeah, that's the spikes coming up. Okay, that's the Fist of War and Ice Crash. That's Sunder. That's the bigger, wider AoE of Sunder. It's almost like Earth Shatterer. Maybe it's not quite as big of an AoE as Earthquake, but it feels very Earthquakey. Yeah, this looks cool. I love the visual effects, man. The visual effects look really good. I wonder if they're recording these in the Vulkan engine. Oh, there's Tech Slam. There's Conk Path right there. There we go, boys. Oh, that looks good. That looks good with the Ancestor coming up over top and slamming as well. That's pretty cool. I like this right here. Let's see if we can see it again. Right there, right at like what, 121? Boom. You can see the Ancestor coming right over top of the guy's helm and just smashing down. Beck says, oh, and before you go, you should also know that Ground Slam, Sunder, and Earthquake can also be used unarmed. Oh, that's massive. Hollow Palm. Oh, Hollow Palm and Face Breakers. Oh, I'm so glad I scrolled down to see that. That's pretty cool. All right, bravo. Bravo. So, GGG, not only are we getting two-hander buffs, we're getting unarmed buffs as well. That's nice. That's nice. Okay, well, I like this. This all sounds good. We'll see what it looks like in about 8 days from now, but this sounds good to me. This sounds good from the gem perspective. We will see what things look like as more and more information comes out about two-handed base types. I think that's where most of the power issue is for two-handers, but this all looks very, very cool, and I certainly love to play, what is it, Earthquake. I love to play Consecrated Path, and I'm looking forward to hopefully trying out the new Tectonic Slam in Harvest. So this all looks very, very promising. Anyway, drop us a comment down below. Let us know what you think about the new and improved, changed Slam skills upcoming in 3.11 Harvest League, and I hope that the upcoming league is the league a Mirror of Calandra drops for you. Thanks for watching that video. If you'd like more information on any of our discussion points today, you can see them down below in the video description. If you'd also like to join our Discord or support our Patreon, you can do so with the links down below. Thanks again, and big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters.